Everheart, my husband Jeff. We are coming to you tonight because you may or may not know that we experienced a house fire, and it's been a devastating house fire. It has taken everything we owned. We have no house. We have no clothes except the clothes that we were wearing at the time and the clothes we've since bought at Target or wherever. And we also lost 3 beautiful cats. And we want to tell you what's happening with an Amazon product that we purchased. And I want to ask you to do a very special favor for me regarding this product. So we purchased a outdoor heating pad for our 2 little outdoor kitties. They were 2 strays, and the heating pad caught fire and it burned our whole house down. My husband Jeff happened to wake up at 2:30 in the morning hearing noises. He can share more about that. And then he, as you know, we sleep in separate bedrooms. He then woke me up. I was able to get Toki, myself, and my medication out the door. We left the back door open, calling for the cats. My husband went back in, and it was just black smut. And we lost 3 beautiful cats. We lost Cubby, my most recent little rescue Cubby. We lost Perfect, which is a cat I rescued at Topsail Beach, who was feral and FIV and just the love of our lives. And
but he was tamed, and he turned into the
we tamed him.
sweetest cat we've ever known. We've probably known hundreds of cats between the 2 of us. I've never known a cat like Perfect.
Nothing like Perfect. And Pan, our beautiful Pan, who I got him at a rescue, and they opened up the cage and he jumped right into my arms. So those 3 are gone. Our entire house is gone. Everything we own is gone. There are so many beautiful things that are gone. And I want to tell you about this because so often you hear about someone's house burned down. And so many people wrote me and they were like, I think your account's been hacked because there's someone saying your house is burned down. And this is the type of stuff you hear about in a movie or you watch it on television. And unless, I was telling my husband, I was like, there are 2 types, kind of 3 types of people. There are the type of people who have lived through a house fire and know what it's about. And then there are the people who haven't. And then there are people who either have a family member or someone they love who is a firefighter. Now, you can also have a firefighter who's lived through a house fire, but those are the types of people that are out there, and we can tell the difference. Like, we get someone on the phone and we tell them we've had a house fire, and they are like, oh my God. Some people are more empathetic than other people. And honestly, I remember hearing about all the fires in California and feeling sorry and sending money and donations and things like this. But it never really registered to me what it's like to lose your entire home.
Because you're grieving on so many levels. When you lose an animal, it's a really difficult period of grieving. When you lose your home for some reason, it's a very difficult period of grieving. When you lose a treasured item that you've had for years, you grieve that. When you lose all your clothes, or even 2 or 3 pieces of clothing you love to something, moths or something, you grieve that. But this is grieving on so many multiple levels that it makes you feel insane every day.
Yeah.
And then you have to deal with cold logistics of putting it all back together. Then you have to try to deal with, and we are grateful for every single person that's contacted us directly or out there through the social media ether. But you have to respond to that, because not only out of obligation, but because we are so appreciative of people taking the time
to listen
and to understand. It's weird. We're not trying to put spotlight on ourselves, but this is a disaster on multiple levels that is going to be with us forever in some way. The reason we're here now is to try to help you understand the corporate negligence that Amazon has shown by keeping this product up, even though there are terrible reviews on it.
Yeah,
Look at all
other
the
fire
one-star
reviews.
reviews, and we'll tell you what the manufacturer is named soon. But we really hope that we can get a few people behind us and flood them with calls and tell them to take this
Yes.
item off the market. You can still purchase it as we speak.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, those who are responsible for the deaths of Pan, Perfect, and Cubby must pay.
And they don't care.
And
They don't
and at this
care.
point, they don't care, but
We've
they
ridden
will
them.
care when, well, I don't know how much I can say about that, but they will soon care.
We hope they'll care, but so far they've written us. We have contacted them. I've sent them pictures of my burnt down house. I have told them what happened. I've told us what the police investigator, the fire investigator said. They wrote us an email.
They wrote us an email. They said they were sorry. They need more information. We are absolutely gathering more information. They said they want
Sorry for inconvenience.
a proper government report, which is coming together because every single fire inspector, with our insurance company, with the fire department, and on and on and on, are in unanimous agreement that it is the heating pad that is the reason for this fire. And it's not only that, because yes, accidents can happen. What it is that Amazon continues to sell this product, even though other people, besides ourselves, have had multiple issues with this heating pad, and they're recognizing the danger of it. And we are unfortunately the ones that have suffered the most devastation from this piece of crap heating pad that Amazon continues to sell. And I want to mention, before we give you the phone number that we want you to call, that we received communication from the maker of the heating pad, not Amazon directly, but the maker through Amazon channels, gave us a bunch of crap, told us they needed a government report, which we will be getting them. But they ended it by saying, "We are so terribly sorry for the inconvenience."
I don't even know if they said terribly.
They said we're very sorry,
for the
very sorry for the inconvenience. Inconvenience is the understatement of the year, and it's just slap in the face, and it's a huge insult. And I want somebody to pay.
So this is what we're here to share, is that this, you know who I am, or you know who my husband is. For those of you who don't know, my husband is a successful author in the music industry. He's a writer for many, many years. He worked for a major publishing magazine company. He's worked for music companies. He's been in the music business for years. You know me. I'm Adrienne Everheart, dating and relationship coach. So you know who we are. But right now, there's a heating pad on someone's porch, on someone's house, that's going to burn their house down. It's going to kill them. It's going to kill their children. It's going to kill their pets. And it's still being sold on Amazon. And this is the problem, is that no one is being held responsible. We have this titan industry called Amazon, and you call and you can't even get a real person. Today I finally went into Whole Foods, and I went to Whole Foods at the Amazon return desk, and I said, I need to speak to a supervisor. I need a real person. And she said, I can't give you that information. I showed her pictures of my burned down house. Oh my God, that's so bad. I'm so sorry. Yes, give me a real person. I can't do that. It's against our policy. Give me a real effing person. This has happened to us. We can't even talk. We're yet to talk to a real person. I called Amazon, and the person I spoke to in the A to Z, however they deal with it, said, oh, this is definitely terrible. It shouldn't be happening. It's still for sale. It's been selling for the entire week. You see, so here's what I would like for you to do. During business hours, I would like for you to call Amazon Corporate. Amazon Corporate's phone number is area code 206-266-1000. So that's 206-266-1000. I want you to call Amazon Corporate. They're open from 7:30 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night, Pacific Standard Time.
And note that it's Pacific. So if you're on the East Coast of the U.S., obviously, you can all figure that out. But some people have a little trouble with that. So Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 to 6 p.m. Hugely important that you contact them during these times, because we are told that you actually can get a human being on the phone.
Yes.
And let them know that you know about this, and the guilty party, the guilty manufacturer, the guilty item is a thing called clausable, as in clause able. So CLAWSABLE.
And that's an outdoor heating pad. It's a heating pad, electric heating pad for animals and pets. Now, I believe that there's enough. If I were a company and someone were coming in if I got one review, if I sold one item on my website and it said, "Hey, Adrienne, this caught fire," I'd be like, "Oh my God."
I used to work for two music distributors for years. I bought physical music, but let's say somebody said, "Oh my God, I opened up the CD and the CD was like razor blades and it cut my hands." We would have taken
You'd be into
that. We would have
action.
taken that off immediately.
Yeah.
Yet Amazon just continues to sit back
Sell it.
and sell it, and either not read the reviews, which is negligence, or read the reviews and
Oh, well, they
still sell
read
it.
my review. They read
Yes.
my review
Which
because
didn't meet
I sent a review.
She sent a review, but it didn't meet community standards.
Yeah, I
So
sent a review
How
and
many
said-
how many of our animals have to die before it meets community
people.
standards? So
We almost died.
yeah, we are pissed.
If we would have waited, like, if my husband would have slept just 1-2 more minutes, the fire marshal said I would not be here. He would not be here. None of us would be here. If you haven't seen the photos, go to my GoFundMe page link. Look at how burnt down our house is. We got out in the nick of time. Cora, our other black and white cat, is about 40 to 60% burned. She has almost no fur. She's in extreme pain. She's healing from this, and they continue to sell this heating pad. So look, when you call up Amazon, you need to say, "I am calling on behalf of Adrienne Everheart and Jeff Wagner. They purchased your clausable outdoor heating pad. This heating pad has multiple 1-star reviews within the last 60 days that it catches on fire. Are you aware that it caught their entire house on fire? Are you aware that it killed their cats, Perfect, Pan, and Cubby? Are you aware they now have a cat that's suffering with 40 to 60% burns? Are you aware that they're homeless and that this product is continuing to be sold? If you bombard Amazon corporate with enough phone calls, we can make this different. We already know what Amazon's all about. We already know what it's doing in this country. We already see the pros and the cons. Don't get me wrong. I needed ear loops for my earbuds. I went to Five Below. I went to Barnes & Noble. I went to CVS. I couldn't find it. I can find it on Amazon in 1 minute and get it the next day. So I don't think Amazon's going to go away, but they have to have some accountability in their keywords in the consumer's voice about the review. All right, so I run a Facebook group. I run 2 other groups. On YouTube, in my comments, I have keywords that alert me if someone has said a specific keyword, okay? And I have those keywords to tell me, like, hey, someone has just said something that's really bad, and I go in and review them, or one of my assistants review them, you see? So if I can do that, and I'm just a YouTuber, how is this huge company, Amazon, not able to do the same thing? And we're paying the price. So I'll tell you one other thing. A woman wrote a post the day before us that said, had I not woke up at 1 a.m. to go to the bathroom, my entire house would be in flames and I probably wouldn't be here. Our thing happened the very next day. And here I am, no home, my beautiful home. I've lived there for 20 years.
There are a few people in the live chat here showing concern, which is a lot of people actually. Thank you. If somebody's asking what is the pad, we've already mentioned it, but of course we're going to mention
and
it.
the link is in the description
for people who just hopped on. Clausable, CLAWSABLE. Please call Amazon 206-266-1000. You will get a human being actually if you call between Monday and Friday, 7:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. Call them let them know and keep calling and go make a review. If you know what, you can share a review on Amazon, I think, without even purchasing anything. If that's something that's in alignment with what you want to do it.
Some people have done that on our behalf, which we of course appreciate.
Yeah.
It's just more, it's
To protect
it's
the
definitely not about
consumer.
us. It's really more about, we're having trouble fathoming this ourselves and what our life looks like. We can't imagine what anybody else would have to go through if this happened to them as well. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
So here again, Amazon corporate, I'm going to put it in the description below. 206-266-1000, and that's on Pacific time. They open at 7:30 in the morning. And again, I wrote this company. I sent them pictures. They're still selling it. So my thing is, if they had a shred of doubt or a shred of any type of accountability, and someone says, there are other reviews other than mine saying this thing caught fire, nearly burnt my house down. Wouldn't you take this down? But they're not taking it down because they're making money and the consumer voice doesn't matter. And who knows what country they're in? Who knows if they have any accountability? For those of you who are fire survivors, again, like I said, there's kind of 3 types of people to me at this point. Fire survivors, people who have never experienced a house fire and losing everything. I used to be one of those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I've never been through it. Now that I have a very different take on it. And it's, somebody had written in the comments here, it's back a ways now, but I think they said fire devastation is physical, mental, and spiritual in terms of the degradation and the ruin that it has on somebody. And so, no doubt, it's been disaster and devastation and grieving on a number of horrifying levels for us. And I can't imagine how a product like that is being sold by the largest corporation in the world, basically. Or I can, because that's what happens when
but this is why we need
companies
to
get
change.
too big. Somebody's asking us to repeat the number again. We will do that.
And I'll link it in the description below as well. So.
206-266-1000. Call it from 7:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let them know that you know. And
yeah, say our names.
This thing needs to be taken off the market, if for nothing else than for Cubby Perfect and Pan, but certainly so that there aren't any other Cubby Perfects and Pans out there.
Or humans.
Losing their lives, or humans, or other kinds of animals. It's atrocious. It's unbelievable they're still selling it.
So it is an outdoor heating pad. If you look in the description of this video, you should see a little Amazon link that will take you to that heating pad. But more than leave a review, but we have got to bombard Amazon with phone calls. This is how things change in our country. This is how you make great change. You have to get your voice loud enough that that corporate giant hears you. So here's my thing. Am I going to permanently change Amazon for life and get them to listen to the consumer? I don't know, but I do know recently the fire marshal told us that Amazon was being held liable for the products it was selling because there were so many, that third-party seller that are selling things from other countries. You know how if you go out and in America, if you go out and you buy a lamp, there's a little tag that tells you it's been tested and certified. I don't know that this heating pad had that tag. I'm trusting. I just go on and it's got 4.5 reviews. I go, okay, I'm going to buy it. You don't scroll down and read the 1-star reviews. You don't ever think for a minute, like, I'm going to buy something that's going to burn my house down.
There are a few people just joining now. We don't want to keep repeating. We don't want to keep you. We're going to end this soon. But they're wondering what product it is and the phone number. So we will have that posted
in the description.
And we'll have that'll be the product name and type, and also the phone number in the times
and
that you can call.
The link is in the description. I need y'all to go check that. If you can't see that, let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know. I know I'm normally here to talk about relationship and love advice and things like this, but I will tell you that a tragedy can bring a couple apart. And I want to tell you, we've had moments where we have felt just insane. And then we've had other moments where we're laughing, other moments where we're crying and holding each other, and we're going through this together.
Yeah.
And
It's a test.
it's a test because people grieve differently. Your loved one grieves. It's the same when you lose a child. I've worked with couples who have lost children, and the divorce rate for couples who lose children is very high, like when they lose a child in an accident, because sometimes they just grieve so differently that they come apart. And we're working hard.
I think we'll be okay. I got a good coach.
And I have a good rock. And my husband saved our lives. He saved our lives and got us out of that house. And I just want to say that you think you have problems. You really, really think you have problems. And then you lose everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the GoFundMe donations. It has
Absolutely, to
helped us.
every single person. $1, way more than that, everything in between. It's unbelievable, and we're going to need it because, as somebody mentioned earlier in the chat, and as we now well know, this is grieving and loss and hell and a horrifying experience on so many levels. I mean, it washes over us in waves every day. How many things we have to not only deal with, but how many things we've lost. And some of these losses are things you certainly can't get back, like Pan, Perfect, and Cubby. I'll probably be grieving these kitties forever.
We're going to carry it with us forever.
And
yeah,
anyway.
We'll carry it with us forever because it's never going to go away. And it's all because some company wants to keep selling some product. They're not reading their reviews. They so don't care what's happening to us, or they're so far away that they're not liable.
And as a last thing, I want to say, we bought this at a time when there wasn't either a negative review or the negative reviews were just starting to happen. So it's not as if we could have known, because we of course also read reviews on things we buy, and so at the time there weren't really any. But if you look from early October to late November, this is when the bad reviews start happening. So it's a newer situation here with this particular product, but that's absolutely no excuse, because there were poor reviews on it before we even started using it, and certainly before the fire. So
some of you are writing in that you've lost family members. You're a fire survivor. It is really a special group of people. I really believe it. There's something incredibly traumatic about fire. Don't get me wrong. I live in North Carolina, the home of the hurricane, as well as Florida. And we just had Asheville got demolished, and other parts of North Carolina got demolished with hurricane. And I just want to say, I've had, damage from hurricane, but a fire, it took everything. Everything in our house, the smell, it's covered in soot, it's covered in toxic chemicals. The smoke has gone everywhere. I had to bury my cat Pan. His fur is perfectly fine, but he had soot all caked in his nose, and we can't find Perfect's body in the house yet, and they have to go in there. Silly things like just pictures of me and my grandparents, and beautiful things. I have all these Spider-Man Christmas tree ornaments that I have just collected forever. My husband has a music collection he's been collecting since he was, a teenager. And it's just gone because someone's selling a heating pad and they're not monitoring their reviews, and they don't care. They clearly don't care about what's happening. They have no accountability. We must change this. We must contact Amazon and speak up as the consumer and demand that Amazon put into place some sort of keyword logging, tagging for reviews to alert them. And if they get these keywords, you know, like I have them on my page: suicide, kill myself, you know, for certain profanity words, that if someone says that in my group, I get an alert. So I get to go look at it, you know, and pay special attention. I'm being accountable. So why is Amazon not doing the same thing? This could be a very simple thing for a coder to write, to prevent something like this. So again, clausable, CLAWSABLE, like clausable. Amazon is at 206-266-1000. Say, I'm calling on behalf of Adrienne Everheart and Jeff Wagner and their 3 lost pets and their house. Are you aware that they have contacted your company, have let them know that this has caused a fire? Are you aware that there are multiple 1-star reviews on this product showing a burnt product and that nothing has been done to remove the product? What can you do about this? Can you please remove this product immediately before someone else dies? That needs to be the question. We have got to be like gnats in their face, like bees swarming around them. The consumer has to be that squeaky wheel to get that titan to notice us and make a change.
This is far, far more than an inconvenience, and I'm still burning about their note to us that they're sorry for our inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's the understatement of the year. It's an insult. It's a huge effing insult. And thanks for listening. I have nothing more to say about it right now.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and thank you for the contributions. We're gonna figure it out, and I love you all so much, and thank you for just being part of my life. I am always honored to be part of your life, and we just want to say thank you, and that we appreciate you all. Give a kiss. All right, everybody, we love you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for helping.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.